Right about now is where you would hear the intro for the podcast. However, last minute before we were going to put this out, we got a track. This is a very interesting track. Now, about 50 years ago, there was this band, T-Rex, and they released an album in December of 70. They used to be Tyrannosaurus Rex. And if you haven't heard it, well, hey, just go back, check it out, find it on YouTube. Maybe I'll even put a link in the show notes on that one. Okay, so Susie Sue from Susie and the Banshees was also in another band called The Creatures, and she covered this song back in 1999, but now the band Messiahvore covered it. Let's hear this track and what they did with it. This is Jewel. This is the doomtombpodcast, the podcast for all things stoner, doom, and sludge. My name is Chris. I am your host, and we're going back again to Colorado for a band that, well, they call themselves Organized Noisemakers. I'll let you guys be the judge. Let's get into the interview right now. You know, we've talked about it every once in a while. We've had several guests on in the past from this area, and I've heard it time and time again. The ideology, the slogan that Denver is heavier. And here is another band that just proves the fucking point. I am with several of the members of Messiahvore. Gentlemen, how you doing tonight?
Doing great, man. Thanks for having us on.
Now,
Thanks, man.
cheers. Now, before we get down to it, who are we missing?
we are missing Jen, our bass player. She had to work a little bit late tonight.
Okay.
She might roll in about halfway through this. We'll see.
That'd be awesome, man. I'd love it.
Yeah, we got rehearsal, so this is it.
While we're here, let's go over. How about so? Let's start with. I know it sounds silly, but let's start with Eddie Rabbit, and then we'll go from left to right. Okay. Introduce yourselves. What are you playing?
Hi, I'm Eddie Rabbit. Just kidding. No, my name's Disney. Play guitar, baritone guitar, actually, and backup vocals. So,
Sometimes lead vocals. My name's Bart. I play guitar, lead guitar, and do most of the vocals.
Right.
I'm Brock. I'm the drummer.
Hey, Brock. Okay. You know, I got to talk to you a little bit later, and this journey that some of you made to visit Brock. I don't know what was going on. It looked like it was like in a black metal death documentary of some kind to go to. I don't know where it was, where you live. I have no idea. We're going to get to that in a little bit. But I had the honor.
Wait a second. How do you even know this?
I know some shit. I'm just saying.
Research, man.
Yeah, man, we got to have it on lock here. So, okay, first off, straight up, Coffin and Bolt Records. You guys, thank you so much. You sent me over the material. Holy shit. Right out the gate, man. Huge riffs. But first, let's talk a little bit about the artwork. Who created it, and what is the meaning behind it?
So it's Christopher Yaz is the artist. He's a tattoo artist in town, a friend of ours. Basically, the meaning is, Messiahvore, if you cut it up a little bit and kind of analyze it, means God Eater, right. Obviously. So we have Medusa holding Zeus's head on the cover.
Nice. And
that's kind of depicting the opposite mythology. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, we are kind of like pagans, I guess you could say, but not.
Sounds fine by me.
Yeah. I guess you could say we're not big on religion, and in fact, I think we probably all would agree that it's not done the world a great service.
Yeah.
Well,
but anyway,
if you want to talk about a great form of control, then yes.
Yes. Well, it's succeeded in control for sure.
Yes, absolutely.
Good.
Now,
that's about as deep as we'll get on that, but
that's fine.
That's basically where the album comes from and the name comes from.
I'm curious because, I can't remember. There were some people that I had known. I used to live in Florida. I don't know whether they were pagan, Wiccan. I have no idea. Some people of Earth, that's what I know. All I know is they had this, anointing oil that they put on the forehead. It was for and I didn't understand it right away. I heard a movie title that was called Jump the Broom, and I didn't know that was an actual thing that people did. And that's how they kind of, welcomed in their marriage, was they literally had a broom on the floor and they jumped over it. Now, I can't remember whether that was the actual marriage or whether that was the preamble, which I think was like a year's wait. Like you
know what? Another thing stolen from pagans right there, because that's what lifting the woman up and going across the threshold of your home is.
Yeah.
Exactly the same thing.
Same difference, man. So, jumping the broom. And you know what? Yeah. Let's kick into this. So, am I correct in that this latest release is self-titled?
It is self-titled. It's our first effort for us, and so what is there? 9 songs on there.
There is, yeah.
And they were recorded live in studio, and then we added the vocals and stuff after the fact.
Interesting. Now, is that something that you have done with previous bands, or is this new territory with, did you used to play live before, or how'd it work?
I have in the past recorded some stuff live in studio and then do the vocals afterwards. Right. I find that you get that cool feedback, you get more energy from the band rather than just parsing out everything separately, However, our new EP, we're going to do more studio style. Just because we want to take a different approach.
Yeah, all
so
live.
Mix it up a little bit.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So, how about that? Would you mind, when we get done, talking about this latest release, can we talk a little about the EP?
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to start recording it this week, actually.
Yep.
Yeah.
Awesome, man. So, okay, let's kick it off with Super State. Like I said before, man, there's that big riff. Like I want to say groove. I want to say something even in the vocal with there's some strangle with thrash still. I feel it. I see it. I can hear it. And I was trying to figure out, like, where the fuck, like, what is the connection I'm getting? And now that I see that maybe, you're wearing a DRI hat, maybe there's some connection there. What can you guys tell me about Superstate?
Okay, well, Superstate basically is an Orwellian sci-fi vibe on the current state of things today. So it's basically about the state coming in and controlling things and taking over, taking away freedoms.
Sure.
One thing at a time kind of vibe. But when I wrote the song, it was really just intended to be, kind of Orwellian tip of the hat,
right,
1984 type thing, but it just seems to be more and more poignant.
It wasn't meant to be reality.
Yeah, it wasn't really. Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
Freakishly,
the
though.
Connection that the connection you're hearing with thrash is obviously one of the influences is certainly like Anthrax and Exodus and that kind of stuff, the old school versions of those bands. Definitely, I come from a punk rock background. These guys come from death metal and stoner rock. So we just mix it all together, and that's what you get,
Yeah, and we might have to chat a little bit about these different genres here, because I hear a bunch, and we're gonna go down a little bit of the rabbit hole because we want to talk about the collab that you did, sir, for the Blood Axe. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Nice.
Yeah, pretty gorgeous looking vinyl too, man. I like what
Thank
you did with it. So do either of you guys have anything else to add to that track, or can we move to the next track?
Liz, you got anything?
Not. I guess all I'll add to that track is that was the first track that Bart had emailed me when he asked me if I wanted to join a new project he was starting.
Right.
Yeah, that was probably the first song we wrote, actually.
I listened to it. It just had that locomotive feel about it.
Yeah.
And then I was pretty much sold instantly. Like, I want to do this band with you. So.
Oh yeah.
So that's kind of.
It's a great tune.
Thank you for saying that, and that idea, that locomotive, that train running, it kind of, some of the, I don't know whether it's the age where we're at right now as opposed to when we grew up. With a lot of current bands that I've been interviewing lately, I do hear like that prong helmet kind of chug.
Yes.
Chug.
Yes. That is what I was gonna say to you, man. I definitely draw from that when I write that '90s groove metal,
Right.
and then blending in, some of the doom and the stoner with that. But I always consider us a groove metal band, not a doom band. But definitely would say somebody would enjoy our music stoned. So yes, we're stoned.
I'm trying to think of music that I wouldn't enjoy stone. So, all right, we're gonna go into this the next banger. Like, I don't know, I'm trying to pick a fave that might be my fave. Betrothed.
Okay.
I think that's how you pronounce it.
Yes.
Straight up banger, man. What can you tell me about it?
Betrothed is definitely a double entendre song. So what that means is basically it's about vampires or it's about being stuck in a marriage. However you want
Either one sucks you fucking dry. No, just kidding. Because I am.
Depends on the marriage, I guess. But,
yeah. Thank you, sir. And my wife is actually, as I'm pointing, right outside that door right now. So yeah.
And my wife plays in the band, so it's not about her.
Yeah, as what I said isn't about mine. Yes, now that we've covered our asses, please continue.
Yeah, so anyway, Betrothed is basically the classic vampire story. You got your soul, you've got your life to steal, as per the lyrics say, and basically the chains are on after I've bitten you and sucked out your life force, and now you belong to me.
Yes.
So basically it's about vampires.
I don't know. It's one of my. I love it. I think it's a great track, man.
I like that song too.
Yeah, and it it goes throughout, and I'll get down a little lower, and we'll change it up. But let's go into this next track. Unless you guys have anything else to add to it.
Anybody?
I just love the way, transitions into that song right after Super State. Just hits you right in the face.
I love it live.
Yeah, we put those two back to back live.
Oh, nice.
Slam into it. Yeah.
Well, you're coming out pummeling. It's like you get on the stage, you maybe have a little. I honestly picture it. I don't care whether you're high dive or whether you're one of our local haunts in Arizona, like Yucca Tap Room or something like that. And you just a little bit of feedback, and then guns blazing. First 2 tracks in, just kick ass and take no names. There's not even a need to take a name right now because, fuck it. And then you get the little break. You're like, we're Messiahvore, and we're coming to kick your ass. And then we move on to the next track, Sleep So Sound. What can you tell me about this track?
So Sleep So Sound was inspired by television news a little bit, just like everything I was seeing around the world. People are living in turmoil. Things are literally on fire. There's bombs going off. Recently, we had that giant explosion in Lebanon,
Yeah, that was insane.
And, so basically the song is about how comfortable we are in the States in our bubble. Yeah. So that's basically where the metaphor Sleep So Sound comes from, and that's kind of my poetic way of saying that we're so safe and you don't even know what's going on or even think about what's going on in the rest of the world half the time.
Absolutely. And it's so funny because the last interview I did, like right before you guys, they're in Louisiana right now. They're in New Orleans. So one of their band members, I believe, couldn't make it or something happened. And I think it was due to hurricane issues. Right. I used to live in Florida, and where were you at?
I was in Gulf Breeze between Pensacola and Fort Walton Beach, Destin area.
Oh, you're where?
I grew up on the Peninsula.
Yeah, you're way up there.
North Florida. Yeah, Lower Alabama, The Redneck Riviera.
Well, you actually had a season a little bit up there.
Yeah, I actually saw snow once when I was in the 2nd grade.
Yeah. Not by me. I was in South Florida, but
where are you from?
Originally New York, and then down in South Florida, like Broward County, Dade County, Palm Beach County. But it's like I was telling them before, we didn't even. After a while, we didn't fucking budge because like I went down there in '92, and Andrew was like a beast. It was like Cat 5 and beyond.
Oh yeah.
And then
Homestead.
Yeah. And oh my God, Homestead, Kendall, they were fucking destroyed. And then afterwards, we're like, well, if it's not at least a 3, why do I give a shit? Really?
I'm not going anywhere.
And then
beer,
and then this other one came. I remember. I think it was such a basic pablum name. It was like Wilma, and it destroyed because there was no wind. So it sat on us and just poured rain down, and collapsing roofs and all that shit caused more damage that way. So it's like, don't screw with Mother Nature, man. She's just gonna take control every single damn time. And but I'm in Arizona. So, and you're in Colorado, so it's like that's not affecting me right now. I'm not at a mad dash to grab water or to grab enough beer or whatever to last me in case there's a power outage. And it's the same with other states right now that are literally on fire. It doesn't matter whether it's California or whether there's car lots that are on fire right now in protest. There's a whole bunch of shit going on, and it's a crazy fucking time right now. And I'm right here. I'm like, okay, I'm not. I only see what's on TV, so it's such a weird. We're in a weird space, man. And speaking of that, it's kind of apropos almost to go into this this track that has a little bit of narration to kick off, and then we get into it. And I'm curious because there's certain things that I see where people are just blindly following, and that is cult worship. What can you tell me about this track?
Yeah, man, you said it. People are blindly following, man. Basically, that was my answer to just saying religion is stupid. You should have faith in the people around you.
Right.
Looking for magic men to come and answer your wishes is kind of silly. So whether it doesn't matter what faith you are, I don't care who it is or what religion. To me, it's just pointless. And basically, cult worship is just that, man. I feel like it's toxic.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it hasn't done much good for humanity, really. So, I guess I have a little social awareness in these lyrics and stuff. You know what I mean? I'm trying to actually say a little something.
Yeah.
And still have a good time.
And that's the goal, man. That is completely the goal. And there's just so much weirdness going on right now, man. I don't even know.
Yeah.
It's like, did you get this feeling? Because I've had it over the past year or a few years where you feel more awake, like you're more present in like, oh, there's bullshit, there's more bullshit, and there's more bullshit. Like,
oh, I smell it all the time.
What the fuck? Like, seriously? And everything seems to be, like, the as you were a child and you're in school and they're like, education is the key. Education is everything. You get this education, and you get that education. You get your advanced degree. You get this, you get that. And then now it's beyond that. It's become indoctrination after indoctrination.
Yeah.
And it's like, can I please?
When we were kids, it was indoctrination.
Yeah, that's what most public school is for. Like, if they really wanted to educate you, they'd be, you'd be doing things hands-on, learning different perspectives, not just one.
Right.
Absolutely.
Like, okay, don't get me wrong. There's some things that I guess, if you're in America or whatever, wherever you are, whatever part of the world, you learn about your area. But it's great to hear that. But then do your own research. What else can you find? Well, maybe the story you heard was just a piece of the story. And then
And it worked.
His story written by Victor.
Yeah, and then exactly. And then you can make your own mind up. I mean, I forgot the woman's name. Oh, Janet or something. I forget. She was trying to explain how the United States is not as big as it's portrayed on a map of...
Right.
Have you heard this story?
No, but I understand the concept of that. We're just a small piece of the world.
Yeah, and the main story of it, and if I can remember who it is, I'll send you the video. It's like, of course, and even it's funny, I talked to my wife about it, and she's like, why is it on every fucking podcast you talk about going down a YouTube rabbit hole? It's because I go down a YouTube rabbit hole. Like,
that's where I went.
Like almost every fucking night, It's like, I grab my drink, I grab a little herb or whatever, I go out on the porch, I sweat my ass off out in 115-degree heat, which I don't know why. I don't know why it's so relaxing, but then I go down that YouTube rabbit hole and I hear this stuff and I see this stuff. And the main reason that they were putting the size of the U.S. and the size of other areas was directly related to religion. It was almost like it was a religious map and not a map of the world. Blew my mind. Because, here I am, I'm in my 40s, and I'm like, this is real? This is what reality is? Are you kidding? Seriously? So, basically, I'm saying, like, open your eyes, try to go down the hole, see what's down there.
Okay.
And
open your eyes and realize that, there's a lot of cultures out there and a lot of people out there that are living great lives and doing good things without your indoctrination, like being a member of this club or that church or that cult.
Yeah.
The world is bigger than us.
It so much is. And even whether it's, I've talked to people about, obviously food comes up a lot in the podcast because, fuck Christ, look at me. But
we love food.
Yeah, please. It's like the great equalizer. And, there's things that I like that, I prefer more spice. And, American food, we've got salt, pepper, sugar. That's about it. Those are our fucking spices.
Curry.
Yeah, buddy.
So you go other places, we get some hot sauce, we get some heat, we get some fire, we get all these different herbs and stuff, and there's this drink. I love this yogurt drink, and I don't know if you ever had it. And I have to go to a special
I
store.
think I have.
Yeah, like
Is it Middle Eastern?
yeah, like some of the Greek places have it, and then,
Yeah,
oh my God,
totally.
definitely acquired taste. I understand that, but I mean, my wife
I'm into it.
she'll vomit if she tastes it. I can have it anytime.
It kind of tastes like vomit, really, but it's delicious.
And
It's
please,
vomit.
may
It's like fruit that's already been digested.
Yeah.
may I have some more? Because that is fucking delicious.
Yeah, it's got a little saltiness to it, I think.
Yes, it's exactly it. It's if you went into an Indian restaurant, you'd ask for a salty lassi, and that's exactly what it is. Oh, so good, man. So
Good shit.
I'm looking for a sour yogurt drink sponsor is what I'm saying.
There we go.
Somebody help this guy out.
Thank you. Somebody, please. Somewhere. So
Well, we need a Zildjian sponsor. I need a Gibson sponsor. I think he'd be cool with what?
PBR.
That's the spirit.
All I need.
that boy, that
They're willing to sponsor just about anything.
that kind of degraded kind of quickly. All right.
I will tell you that story later.
So
What was that?
that just kind of went down a little bit. I was like, okay, and I was like, maybe he was going to ask for strings or something. He's like, nah, just a few PBR talls. I'm good.
I can buy my own damn strings.
Yeah, right.
All right, so we're going to move on to Double Cross, which, quite honestly, I mean, 5 tracks in, and this is the first chance I get a little breather here.
Yeah.
What can you tell me about this track?
Well, I can tell you that Kevin came up with the main riff, Mr. Diz here. That whole intro, interlude, and everything building into the song, he kind of had that riff coming into the band. And the song is actually about a fictional drug deal with the devil.
Nice.
So that's the subject matter, and it's probably the most stoner rock song on the record.
Yeah, I would say that. Sure.
I would say. Yeah, it's got a little bit of that corrosion of conformity 90s kind of vibe going on in it. It's really fun to play, and actually we just filmed a video for it this weekend. So that'll be coming out here in a couple months.
I was going to ask you, because
About that.
I saw it on social. I was interested as to what the video was for. So the video is going to be for Double Cross?
Yeah, for a 7-minute song.
Yeah.
It's going to be a little mini movie.
Sure. Kind of borderline like Thriller a little bit.
Yeah, it's a little bit of Reservoir Dogs, a little bit of Sin City, and a little bit of Natural Born Killers.
Yeah.
That's
All pretty good.
So there will be
Yeah, a
blood.
little lot. There will be probably at least some gunfire.
Fair enough. All right. Well, I mean, I don't know.
No, it should be interesting.
I don't even know why I even have to say this, but it goes into the next track. Blood and Guts. Straight up. What can you tell me about it?
So Blood and Guts is about performance. It's basically, as performers, we give everything we've got into this music thing. We put our lives on it, and we get judged, and we get ridiculed. We get, pats on the back, all that stuff. So basically, that song is basically just saying I give all my all, and I sometimes get shit in return, sometimes I don't, but we're gonna do it anyway till we're dead, because that's just who we are as people. We put a lot into this, a lot of work, a lot of practice.
Right.
It didn't happen overnight, kind of thing,
Yeah,
So that's what that song is.
seeing bands come through here and going to a lot more shows and getting involved in the scene has really changed my ideology about a band, because beforehand I used to go to a lot of arena shows, and shed shows. So you're seeing, it's 20,000 people, it's 10,000 people, whatever, and then you go to these auditorium shows, 5,000 people. And now I'm going to shows. I can go. Obviously, we're not doing it now, but as I was, it could be anywhere from 50 people to 300 people at a show. So not a huge space, but a space nonetheless where all the fans and people that love and adore the music and the bands, they come through and they support. But think about it. So a band comes through, and then they have to go somewhere else. So we're in a different altitude, and then you go to another altitude, and you go to a time change, and then you go to another altitude, and a time change, and a weather change, and a season change. All this stuff, and it eats away at the person. So, when people go out to see a band, it's like they're just looking at this one moment in time when they're in their world, and then they head out to other spaces. Like, so I guess the reason I'm saying all this is so all three of you, I'm assuming that you've been in other bands and around more than just Colorado. So how does
definitely.
And how does that feel as you're traveling? Like, some bands in the scene, they can't afford a tour bus. They're doing van life. They're vampires, I guess you could say. Going back to track 2, and so what do you feel on your side as a band as you go from one town to the next? You get, like, you do the performance, you do your 100%, you give it all you got, blood and guts, like you said, and then you go through this drop. Tell me a little bit about that.
Well, I mean, for me personally, touring with bands, it's more about getting sleep when you can, more than anything.
Right.
Like I always,
Not while you're driving.
it depends on who you are as a person. I'm a happy guy. So like I rock play the show, we load out, and yeah, you're tired as hell, and maybe you don't even have a hotel room. Maybe somebody at the club is hooking you up with a floor to sleep on.
Nice.
That's the reality of touring. It's not all hotels and sweet spots.
Right.
And on the way to the next place, maybe one of your guys is driving, maybe you got a buddy with you that's driving, and you crawl in the back and you try and get some sleep so that you can do it again and again and again. Now that's van life,
Yeah.
Tour bus life, I've only had a tour bus tour for 2 weeks one time in my life, and it was sweet. It was great, but it was the same. I still needed sleep.
Right.
It's all about getting sleep, and you don't want to miss anything, but you gotta sleep.
Right?
Yeah, there's nothing truer than walking into a bar, a minimum capacity, maybe like $150 people or whatever, and the lead singer is on a couch sleeping, just so he can get a few hits before, a few winks in before getting on stage.
Yeah, exactly. That cat nap will do you wonders, man. It really will.
Yeah, absolutely.
But the cool thing about it is like most of the time if you're on tour and you're playing music and doing what you love, you're stoked anyway.
Right.
And hopefully the people you're with you get along with, because if you don't, it fucking sucks.
Oh, man.
So really all the things have to be aligned, and you got to be with the right people, and you have to have somebody, that's getting you decent gigs, and
Sure.
And hopefully you're not fighting for the money at the end of the night, which I've done before.
Yeah.
There's just a myriad of things that have to line up for touring to be cool, and I can't wait to go out and do it again. By the way.
You know what? And yeah, absolutely, we all do, and I want to see it as much as bands want to do it. It's funny. I talked with bands over and over again. I don't think we ever really discuss it on mic, so thank you for this. But off mic, we've discussed it where, you go to a place and they have a guarantee, or it didn't work out that way, or, we said this, but we got this, or we'll give you an extra drink ticket. I was like, yeah, well, fuck that. I want to get paid. And
I need gas. I got to get gas money. We got to get to the next place.
I need gas money. And, don't get me wrong. Oh, it's fucking fantastic when they say, well, you're doing it for the exposure. No, I'm not. I'm actually doing it to make a fucking dollar. And that's one of the reasons, like, when my partner and I did this thing over here called Planet Mammoth, I made it an absolute must that as soon as the band was done and their gear was off stage, I was like, tell me the leader of the band, they're going to get their money in the pocket right that fucking second.
Yeah.
That way, there's no bullshit, there's no arguing, there's no, like, I didn't get this. Here it is. You got your money, and move forward. And I think
that's the way to be.
Yeah, it clears all the air, and now, like, you don't have to fuss and worry, but people are shit
There's no
sometimes.
distrust.
Yeah, totally, man.
So we just did a big punk rock show during COVID.
Yeah.
Out here in Golden, Colorado, actually.
I saw
called
that.
the Western Front Fallout.
Yep.
You saw that?
Yeah.
Yeah, so what did we do? Have like 6 bands on there.
Yep.
We sold tickets online. It was outdoor. We sold it out, 200 tickets, and all the bands got paid equal money.
Right.
And everybody was super stoked. These were all friends of ours and everything.
Right.
But like, nobody had a question of how things were going to go.
Yeah.
And that's a comfort level you can't get on the road. Those people were all our buddies. They knew we were going to take care of them.
Sure.
But on the road, you don't know who you're dealing with, what kind of shyster situation you're going to get yourself into.
Oh, it's
crazy.
a beast, man. It's a fucking beast. Now, here's a quick,
Yeah, we're not boarded up.
just a quick thing. So,
Yeah.
okay, so all of you have, collectively, all of you have been on tours, correct? Out of state. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
When you get back, do you get sick?
I have. But I don't think it was because I was on tour. I don't know. Now that you mentioned, I never really given it much thought.
Because
I definitely have.
like I've noticed it whether it was schooling and even like when we did this we did like a 3-day fest, and then afterward, like a couple days later, I came down with something. It's like I don't have, like, almost like the body knows, like I don't have time to get fucking
like
sick
you
right
can
now.
rest now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I have actually gotten sick after a tour. Now that you mention it, like just like a chest cold or something like that.
Yeah.
Or like I just had to just rest.
Yep.
Because you're always on the go. You don't have time to get sick.
There's a whole lot. No, there's not a lot. And then, like I said, you come down. Yeah. So when we're going to move forward to Consume You, I found a little bit of a different vocal, just a slight bit, maybe a slight bit of different distortion or something. And then, and then, of course, at the 140 mark, we heard that little ting. What can you tell me about that track?
You got to have the beautiful ride hit. So Consume You is about us as humans being consumers and how addicted to that we are, basically. So that's pretty much what that song's about. The style, I very much feel like it's Helmet vibe with the main riff.
Totally.
It's got an odd meter in it. I think it's in 7.
Yeah.
Yeah. 7, 8 here and there, and then it goes to a 9-part, blah blah blah, whatever. But yeah, that song is one of my favorites to play live. I really enjoy the end part of that song.
Pretty fuzzed out on that one too.
Yeah, a lot of fuzz guitar on
Yes.
that one. Also, the same fuzz was on Blood and Guts.
Exactly.
Yeah, and then a lot of distorted bass at the end of that song during the outro.
Right.
From Jen, playing a different melody than us, which I like a lot.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a rocker.
Straight up. Well, you know what? It's almost like you don't even have to say it because they're all fucking rockers on here, man. Each one just chugs along. It powers along. That, unless I say something, like in the beginning of Double Cross, you get a little slower or whatever, or even the final track, which we'll get to in just a bit.
Right.
It's other than that, man, it's straightforward, man. It's straight in your face. Like, you're going to need a nap after this, period.
I like that. Yeah. Make them feel like they went on tour with us. Right?
So, we go into lightweight. Interesting.
Yeah.
Vocal change, little narration. What can you tell me about this track?
All right. Well, that one's definitely out there, right? It's kind of a weird feel. It's a 6/8 vibe.
Sure.
That song is about drug use, and some people's inability to use socially.
Right.
Like, some of us are capable of doing, some of us are not.
Yeah. You know what? I might not be far off from it. Yeah. I can have a few drinks when I'm at a show. I try not to hit anything because I know me when I'm in the house and I smoke, and I'm just a goofy fuck. I really am.
Hey, that's how you should be. That's fun. At home, do what you want. I don't smoke a lot of weed unless I'm just kicking it somewhere, you know.
Sure.
I definitely, I'm not the everyday use guy. I like hash every now and then, that kind of thing.
Right.
But anyway, this is about harder drugs. The singing part in the breakdown is all Kevin, the more smoother voice guy. He's doing that part in that song. That's one of my favorite songs. It's hard to play that song live. It's hard to.
Have you even played it yet live?
I think a couple of times, but it's a difficult song to pull off properly. And you know, you always pick your best shit when you're opening for nationals or something like that.
Sure.
We tend to bust that song out whenever like we're headlining, or if it's one of those shows. It just doesn't matter if we kind of biff it a little.
Right.
You know, that's a hard song for us.
And you know what?
Pull off live.
It's so true. You know, there's so many local bands in the area that, you know, when they're done, they're like, well, you know, was it good? Yeah, it was great. Yeah, everything, you spot on, bravo. And they're like, no, man, but in the third part, I kind of fucked it up a little bit. I was like, did you see people banging their heads? Did you see people doing
most people don't know.
doing the nod, you know, giving a cheers? They're like, you know, they fucking loved it, man. You had the lights, you had the smoke, you know, you had the beats, you know, whatever. Loud amps in the face. It's live, man. You can't. It's progress, not perfection. You know, we're going for it. You know, and I'd rather a band like Messiahvore. I'd rather you give me fucking blood and guts on the stage and fuck up a few times than
we would.
Then just play it.
No, we are a tight band, but like any band, like we'll notice those mistakes more than the audience probably.
Of course.
But there will be times when you biff something, and we're really good at laughing shit off. Because coming from a punk rock background, you gotta be.
Oh, you have to be, man, dude. Okay, so I do this radio show on Cranium Radio, craniumradio.com, Sunday evenings, 6 to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's called the Doom Tomb, funky name, I know. And
yeah, I love it.
Right afterwards, I put on old podcast episodes, and I swear it's just to make me cringe. It sounds terrible. I don't know what I was doing. I think I was like recording and editing as my wife was sleeping, so I was real quiet, and it was real. I was real low, and welcome to the Doom Tomb, and trying to compress the fuck out of my voice. This is my voice. This is what I got. It took me almost 3 years to own what I do, and I feel proud of it, and I could go back and laugh and just like, dude, what the fuck were you doing? Now, eventually, 3 years down the road,
we had those experiences listening to our old bands and stuff. You ever listen to your old band and you're like, what the fuck was I thinking? Why did I write that?
I thought it sounded great.
Yeah, that's terrible.
And it's all relative because, you talk to your fans and they're like, no, dude, that's my favorite track. And I'm like, oh, well, shit, okay. I'll never forget. There was an interview that I'm not going to talk about, but it didn't go well. And that happens every once in a while. And that's how I got on the radio, because they said, you know what you did? You tried. And all right, maybe it wasn't successful, but at least you gave the effort, man. And that's what I like, going back to the song Blood and Guts. It's like you threw it out on the fucking table, and here, either you're gonna get served or you're gonna walk away from the table. Simple enough.
Yeah.
So
you get judged, and then whatever happens, happens.
Yeah, man. So we're gonna move forward to this last track, The Last Word, instrumental of sorts. So kind of funny that you're calling it The Last Word. Got a lot of twists. Not as. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, we're just laughing because we thought that was funny too.
Yeah. It's not as in your face as the rest of the material. I'm curious as I hear it, because it does go off in different ways. Is this a sign of what's coming up from or what's going to be on the EP, or what can you tell me about this? And then I want to talk a little
I
bit
would
about
say,
the EP.
yeah, I would say that is not a sign of what's to come. I think if we're going to write an instrumental, we want it to take you places.
Right.
So when we wrote that song, it was just about doing something a little outside our normal box. There's clean guitars, there's harmony, there's interludes. It's kind of
Weird timing.
weird times and a little symphonic here and there.
Mhm.
Like I could almost hear a symphony playing some of the parts. But it's fucking heavy still,
Yes.
and it's got a vibe. It's real moody, I don't know if we intended to finish the album that way. It just seemed like a good place for it because it's a little,
It's hard to know where to put a song like that.
yeah.
I hear that at the end of side A on a record kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then the side 2 or 2 kicks off again. But
If we do vinyl, it's going on the end of side A,
You know what?
and hopefully we will get this on vinyl.
In a way, it kind of throws
Cool.
back, to old school Metallica, man. They, putting on Anesthesia, putting on, Call of Cthulhu,
We got Orion.
Orion. Yeah.
Call of Cthulhu. I mean, those are fucking fantastic songs, and
That's the best.
it does have an air of that vibe. Of course, we're not a thrash band, but they took you a lot of places in those songs,
Sure they did.
and I feel like that's what we tried to do. There's not a lot of repeating parts. There is in the beginning, then you go through an interlude, and then we have a big epic outro
Yeah.
in that tune, and that one's a lot of fun to play live. I enjoy it. It's another difficult song to pull off, but I think we've had pretty good success with that one.
I think so too. It's been kind of an attention getter as an instrumental too. Sometimes instrumentals, you don't know live or not. You gotta have the right crowd for that.
Yeah,
Right.
you do have to have the right crowd for it, but actually we do get a lot of people like saying, "Dude, that instrumental is really cool. We like that one." I was like, "Well, shit, I'm not going to sing anymore. This is really cool."
Yeah.
I'm just going to write instrumental.
Even before being more involved with this scene, yeah, I always like that. I like that interlude. I like that break. Don't get me wrong. I love the vocal, but I also I like to see the instrument being used and played, and just hear the instrument those instruments instead of the vocal instrument. I don't know.
It gives you a minute to as a band too to take a breath and like give a little bit of focus to your instrument and show people what you can actually do on it.
Yeah, man.
And people who love music are gonna respect it and understand it, I think.
Now, is this because every once in a while I see it rarely. I don't see it more than I see it, which is the old school breakdown.
Oh yeah.
So you're in you're playing and you got your 30 minutes in or whatever, and this is it's time to introduce the band. Is this a band intro song or?
No, we don't know. We don't want anybody to know our names.
Yeah, for real.
Fair enough. I guess I'll edit that out.
No, I guess with this band, so I played in a rock and roll band before this called Throttle Bomb, and we always did that shit.
Yes, you did. A little more punky.
Yeah, punk and rock and roll is just a little more party band style.
Yeah.
With this band, it's basically like we start, we fucking rock, and we don't really say a whole lot, and it's just like, this is our set, this is the music, this is what you get. It depends on the audience too. Like, if it's a party audience, then, I'll banter with them a little bit more.
Right.
But really, I don't want to spend a lot of time chatting.
But it also seems indicative of the scene.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Brock.
I'm sorry, what?
Brock, go ahead.
I was saying we try not to have a lot of downtime in between songs to just keep the energy going. If anything, feedback is the most.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We let the feedback do the talking.
Yeah, we let the feedback do the talking.
Personally, I love it, and I know there's an art to it. It's not just bullshit, because it's like I have seen some people. Actually, there's a band that fucking does it out of California called Nebula Drag. I love it. Don't get me wrong, the music is fantastic, but the in between of where they're retuning and etc. And it sounds like it's actually supposed to be there. Like it's not fiddling, it's not bullshit. And that's phenomenal to me.
We like that vibe, and we like that ocean of sound is what I call it. I love that this ocean of sound between songs. Like whatever it is, it doesn't have to be like a constant, you know?
Yeah.
But like playing with the feedback, harmonizing with the feedback, that shit's cool.
Absolutely. Well, guys, thank you for going over those tracks. Now, what do you have coming up for this EP?
I think probably more of the same.
Right.
But maybe a little bit, what do we think, a little bit heavier?
Yeah.
Maybe we're down tuned on the bulk of it more.
Oh, yeah.
Stuff.
So we're tuned, on that whole other album, we're tuned C standard. Most of the songs on the new record are tuned to A sharp except for one.
Right.
So it's definitely lower. There's a couple of there's some rockers, and then there's some stoner rocky stuff.
Okay.
Let's see, specifically song titles. The Transverse is a song that we have that's about kind of like tripping, I guess, a little bit. Sure. Transversing galactic worlds in your mind. It's a pretty stoner rock topic.
Shamanic journeys.
Yes, shamanic journey.
It's really, honestly, the song is about death. In reality, it's about death, but you know, another double entendre song.
Yeah.
So yeah, that one's, I love that song. And actually, you know, we have this thing called Live at the Crash Pad we do at our studio here.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
And yeah, you can actually that song is on our episode of Live at the Crash Pad if people are interested. They can check it out. It's a YouTube channel, so you got to go on YouTube, type in Live at the Crash Pad, put in Messiahvore, boom, there it is. You know, the whole episode. It's like 20 minutes long. There's like 4 songs, and then we talk a lot and goof off, and we make our dream band out of candles. Because we had like Prince candles and Lemmy candles and Joey Ramone candles, and we make our little super group out of those.
That sounds like pretty some good mojo, man.
What's that?
It sounds like good mojo right there.
Yeah, it was a good time. It was our quarantined at the Crash Pad, actually, because
that was the first weekend of the
first week of the quarantine. Yes.
Right. So okay, you know, with talking about Lemmy and Prince and etc. I don't know about live or you know, or a track for a next release. Any covers?
Actually, we do Children of the Grave from Black Sabbath.
Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah, you know, classic. It's just fun. Other than that,
always talk about it.
We always talk about covers. That one we did because we needed another song for a live show.
Sure.
That we only had 2 bands on, so we need to play longer.
Yeah,
I got you.
So we're like, hey man, let's kind of do a cross between Ozzy meets Rob Zombie meets Helmet version of. Right. We kind of rearranged it and do it our own way.
And that's what you should do.
If you're gonna do a cover, that's how you should do it.
Yeah, make it your own. Yeah. Own it. Fucking own it.
A tribute.
Yeah.
Right.
Totally, man.
The world needs more tribute.
Well, thank you, man. I'm looking forward to seeing what this EP brings. But first, we got to focus on the self-title, man. We got to get that out. So this is going out through Coffin and Bolt Records. Is that correct?
Coffin and Bolt. Yes, Coffin and Bolt is our label. And then we have Golden Robot is our big distributor. So
gotcha.
Those guys merged with Golden Robot. So it's supposed to, you know, come out. It'll be on Spotify. It'll be on all the places that it's supposed to be if you're on a label, I guess. And, you know, they'll be dropping some singles. We're going to have a few videos out, you know.
Right.
And, you know, we don't have any, like, silly realizations about this. We are having fun doing what we love to do. And hopefully people dig the music and can latch onto it.
Absolutely, they can.
If they so please.
Now, I do have a few more questions. This goes out to, well, I guess everybody in the band. So, where are the drum keys and where are all the picks?
The picks are in the laundry room,
Okay.
in my, like on top of the water heater.
Drum keys are always on my keychain.
I might have one or two. There's some on my studio desk.
I probably eat most of my picks. I never normally swallow them, but I'm always chewing on them, and I'm always losing them.
Oh my God.
And I never find them.
I start fires with picks. Have you ever lit one?
Oh yeah,
They're great. They're great. They will light a fire. They're like
Well,
kindling.
you know what, sir? I have not done that.
Let's do it.
I don't know. I don't know if burning plastic is a good idea, but that's fine. But I will tell you that if you need to start a fire, one of the best ways to start a fire is Doritos.
Oh, yeah!
I've heard about that.
Yeah.
Hey, it fucking works, man.
Look at that.
What the hell?
See? It's Patrol.
He's trying to figure out how to do that and play at the same time.
What is in that makes it like light up so fast?
It's petroleum, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
But yeah, man.
God. Holy shit,
That's the most exciting fire thing I've just discovered. The first time since I discovered the powdered creamers and the diners that they blow. Oh my God, yeah. Powdered coffee creamer.
All right, Diz,
Fireball.
Yeah, all the edible
Diz, talk to
flavors.
me about
I'm a
this.
pirate.
What about what's happening with the creamer?
Yeah, the old powder coffee creamers and diners and whatnot.
Yeah?
It's super flammable.
No shit.
Really flammable.
We burned down a few
Yeah.
Denny's.
Yeah, we just spit it over lighters and it would be these huge like fires of fire.
The only other
of course.
The only other thing that I know is really flammable is like if you get a hamburger, cheeseburger, whatever, the paper that it comes in. As long as you don't fold it,
Got wax on it.
it goes up and then it's like a floating fire. It looks evil.
Nice.
Evil as all hell. Oh, but here's a question.
Video idea.
So this is for the guitarists and bassists and etc. Have you ever tried a pick maker? I bought one from my friend years ago where like you can cut a pick or it cuts it out of a like an old credit card that you or something you might get in the mail.
Oh, yeah.
Have you ever tried
I
that?
haven't done a legit one. I've definitely cut out stuff when I didn't have picks.
Right.
Like when I was a kid. Like I'd tried a tape case once.
Yeah.
I made a sort of a pick out of a tape case or a CD case. It was terrible. I got a metal pick once. That was pretty cool. But it's like broke a lot of strings.
Yeah, I can imagine.
So I haven't done that too much, no.
Okay.
I just accept the doom of this life, and I just keep buying a lot of picks. I never just,
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
buy piles of them.
No, have you done that?
No, I haven't, but I bought it for a friend of mine, and he's like, well, what the fuck am I gonna do with this? I said, well, read it. It's a pick maker. You make picks, and
Make some fucking picks.
yeah, and he says, well, I need my credit cards. I was like, don't you ever get something in the mail? It's like a fake card. Use that, or like if you get a gift card, just use that. He's like, oh, that's a really good idea. I think I should do that.
Yeah.
You know what? The numbers on the card would be a good grip.
Right.
Yeah.
See, this is
There you go.
this is you, Bart. This is you thinking outside the box, and I appreciate that.
That's right. I'm thinking about the positive sides of these things, man.
That's all it
You leave
is.
the RFID card on it. You can
Yeah.
still use it to pay for shit.
Chip pick. I would definitely get that in my pick.
Sure, on the guitar.
Now, I do like in your hashtags that you consider it Denver Dirt Rock. Yes.
Yeah. There's a lot of Denver. There's a lot of great heavy Denver bands.
Yes,
Like,
there is.
So I think we are just like trying to, pull us all together into one dirty scene. Our music is an acquired taste. Not everybody likes heavy music, but we're not boring, and neither are, in the company of Serpents or
Canvas.
Primitive Man.
Oof.
We've got
Lost Relics.
Lost Relics that we're label mates with. They're fantastic. Man, there's just a lot of good bands, and if we all are dirt rockers together, we're gonna have a good time and have some good shows. So
Absolutely. And you know what? It's cool in my book. Like, not every band has to sound exactly the same. I'm a big fan of a mix, Bill.
yeah, thank you.
Show me what you got. You got some grunge garage stuff. That's cool. Put it on with some stoner. Put on some doom and some sludge. Let's make a fucking show out of it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we don't want to all, like we love stoner rock and we love doom and we love, all the heavies. But we're not doing Black Sabbath worship.
Yeah.
And we're not trying to play super slow and as low as this guy or that guy. One thing about what we do, and a lot of the Denver bands, Lost Relics included, Stone Deaf included, is we have a lot of groove in the music.
Yeah.
We want to see heads. We want to see people moving, and I think that's where we're all coming from, but trying to stay heavy. Because I'm bored as shit with what I hear on the radio. It puts me to sleep.
You know what? And big shout out to Stone Deaf, man. And they have, I've seen them a few times already, and each time they just bring this special quality. It's something different, and I love it. And on top of that, they have a killer fucking merch table.
Yeah. Yeah, they got their shit together, man.
As well, and that's a testament, man. Hey, if you lead people, they're gonna want to buy it, or at least gonna want to check you out. So we've got some downtime right now. Up your merch a little bit. Not necessarily the merch game, but prepare for the merch table that's going to be happening in the future.
Absolutely.
And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying anything negative about a Netflix binge. I'm a fucking fan. So and we got it right now. So what are you guys currently binging on Netflix?
Well, I just watched that the old guard. It's a movie with Charlize Theron or whatever her name is.
Right.
It was pretty fun. But I watched The Dark Tourist. I don't know if you've heard of this. It's just this dude who goes around the world and goes to fucked up places around the world that tourists go to, like get frightened or drink blood, or it's pretty fucked up. But it was cool.
All right, I'm very
Voodoo.
intrigued. What is this on? What?
Yeah. It's on Netflix.
All right.
It's just called The Dark Tourist.
Looks like
Yeah, kind of weird. It was fun to watch.
Fair enough.
What else?
I'm a really hard sell on any series. I've seen like every movie ever in the world like 100 times.
Yeah.
But the TV shows, it takes something really special. It usually ends up being something on HBO. Like it was huge Game of Thrones and that was there. I'm stoked for this new Ridley Scott series coming out.
Yeah, that could be cool.
Raised by Wolves or whatever it's
Yeah, I
called.
want to see that.
I think it looks really interesting.
I liked Ozark a lot.
Yeah, I saw that.
Ozark was killer.
Ozark brought it, man. It's as I saw the first season, I was like, okay, I get it. A little bit of mountainous Breaking Bad, I guess you could say. But it went up. I like the way it lended itself. No spoilers, by the way, but I like the way it lended itself to where you have a little Breaking Bad, and then I don't know if you guys are realizing, but there's a little Sopranos in there.
Oh, I do. Yeah, totally.
And I don't want to tell
it's family
people,
game.
Yeah, I don't want to necessarily tell everybody why, but go fucking watch the show. You figure it out for yourselves. So,
it's good.
Brock, what do you got? You binge watch anything?
No, I mean Sanford and Son still.
Let me tell you.
What season you on, man?
I got long, man.
I like some comedy.
I don't have a internet connection or like real TV.
He lives up in the mountains, man.
Yes.
He's like
I know. I've seen it.
Luthen.
Okay, so
yeah, he's got a beautiful A-frame that he lives in up there.
Yeah.
Now
play music. It's like a giant speaker. Everybody has to hear me down in the gulch,
And we got to talk about this. We definitely have to talk about it. But Sanford and Son, before we go into it, fucking all right. So
you guys cover for me. I gotta pee.
Number one, I feel a little like Fred Sanford in a way because like you could see me right now, right? So I got these readers on. So I have my contacts on and I wear my readers over it. But in the rare occurrence where I'm not wearing my glasses, I have to wear my regular glasses and then I put my readers on over it. I'm fucking Fred Sanford. Straight
You got
up.
the whole drawer. You got to make a phone call. You need another pair of glasses.
Totally. And then on top of it, I'll never forget this guy. His name was Eric Vila, and I met him in high school, and it was the weirdest thing. He had an incredible posture. Like he would just walk in straight. There was never a slump to this gentleman, and he would always come in, and he was whistling this song, just real quiet. You know it, dude. Yes.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
So I'm like, after a couple weeks, I was like, Eric, really? Every fucking day? Like, what's up with this? And he says, I don't know, man. It relaxes me. And I was like,
it's Quincy Jones, man. It's good stuff.
It is Quincy Jones. You're absolutely right. And I was like, I guess maybe Eric figured one of the secrets of life that I'm not aware of. So now 10th grade is like eons ago for me. And pretty much every day, I still whistle that fucking song.
Okay. Good. Awesome.
I don't think
a good one. It's cashing too.
Yeah, I don't think it'll ever get out of my head. But okay, so we got to move forward. And while Bart is draining there, we got to talk about this place that Brock that I saw people visiting you, and like I said, I don't know. It looks like people are going through a black metal documentary to find like this interesting spot. So, do you literally live in a mountain?
Yeah, we live up in Rollinsville, Colorado. It's about 45 minutes up the mountain from here in the Front Range. We have Nederland is like the closest town.
Yeah.
Where you go grocery shopping or whatever. But it's just a bunch of mountain folk. Yeah, it's a nice area.
I like the idea. What's the elevation?
Just about 9,000 feet. It's like 87.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Huh. Do you think now it's a side question, but do you think that helps your playing at all because you're at a higher level for an extended period of time?
It doesn't hurt,
Yeah.
You get used to training at high altitude. It's pretty cool.
Right.
There's not as much oxygen, but it's cleaner oxygen.
Yeah.
And I'm surrounded by trees,
So
everybody is. The whole country is.
I apologize. I'm going to talk to you like a complete idiot because I basically am. So, okay, heating the house and all that. It's like regular. Everything else is regular. It's just you're up in the mountains. Yes.
Yeah. It's not like I'm in a cave or something.
Well, we play up there sometimes.
Nice.
Too in Nederland.
Yeah.
We've done shows up there, and it's a lot of fun. People are hungry for music up in the mountains more than anywhere, really. Anytime I've ever done mountain shows, they've always been awesome. Like people fucking rage and get into it.
Right.
Yeah.
We have a lot of artists and musicians in Ned. Like we had the Caribou Room up there, or the Caribou Ranch Studio used to be up there. So, like Robert Plant's still at the house up there, but we don't get metal up there. So whenever we have a metal show up there, people come out of the woodwork that you didn't even know lived there.
That sounds like it's another thing because years ago, you've seen the documentaries, we know the stories, whether it's Yawning Man or whether it's Caius or whatever. They got the Desert Generator Fest, and then you see I forgot where the Shadow in the Woods Fest is, but they do a festival that's basically in the woods. So why not a fucking mountain fest? Let's get this done.
Yeah.
So
let's do it.
I mean,
we were on our way to doing a bunch of shows up there before COVID hit.
Yeah.
We had there's a band called Native Daughters in Denver that's popular, all instrumental, 2 drummers, really cool. We were going to do a show with them, and who else up there? Was it just us and them?
No, it was us, them, Lost Relics.
And Lost Relics, yeah. So we were trying to get some stuff rolling up there, and then all this shit went down.
Right.
So hopefully as this blows over, we can get started again. And, man, let's Nedfest it.
Yeah. Nedfest used to be a real thing. They got shut down, too.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Okay.
But, you know, hopefully next year we could be on Frozen Dead Guy days or something.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know whether it was done up there or where it was done, but this Blood Axe collaboration that you had. Can you tell me about it? And because you got all a bunch of different singers, how did this come about? And we can get this on Bandcamp, I believe.
Yeah, you can get it on Bandcamp. And basically, what happened was, this is how I met Brad, recorder.
I was playing for a punk band called Brave the Breakdown.
Yeah, Brave the Breakdown. So I met Brad he was playing in Brave the Breakdown. He came in, slayed a bunch of tracks, and I was like, that dude's really good.
Right.
Keep him in mind. And then he comes in, hires me to do a demo thing for a national band that he was just, going to give them some tracks, kind of trying out for them.
Right.
Or international band, I should say.
Yeah.
And so he did that, and like we had the tracks, and I started playing guitar over them because they were just drum tracks. I'm a guitar player, that's what I do.
Yeah.
And I started writing all these riffs, and I was like, dude, we should write songs. So 3 sessions we wrote all the music basically for that record.
Yeah.
Wow.
Three sessions in him. All the drums, guitars, main riffs were done.
And just
so
to put it into perspective, it's 14 tracks.
Yeah, it's 14 tracks.
That's the only
All of the musicianship is Brad on drums, and I play bass and guitar on everything.
Right.
I think there's one guy, my buddy from Piojos down in Pueblo. He plays a lead on the song, and then my buddy Oldest plays a lead on one song. So there's only 2 other guys besides me and Brad on those tracks.
Right.
So basically, I didn't want to sing everything. I sing some, I sing a lot of backups and all that. And I was like, what can we do, man? So we just decided to start calling buddies up. I got Chris Chango from Chingaso to sing on it. I got Ben Pitts, who plays in the Company of Serpents now. I got David from Havoc to sing a song on it.
Yes.
Just a bunch of great heavy vocalists.
Dude, this
heavy.
This is huge.
All
I mean,
over
there's like John Alvino, George Archibald, Igor Pasabasabasabis.
Exactly.
Yeah. Valley Cecil, Chris Chango, like you said, Michael Sword, Justin Lent, Devin Ferguson, Austin Wilson, David Sanchez, Brandon Stoles, Crayon and Andrew. Crayon and Andrew.
Yeah. Chemical X, 2 guys in the same band.
Interesting. Ben Pitts, and of course yourself. Go ahead, please.
Yeah. Yeah, man. So it was awesome. It took a while to make the record, obviously, because I wanted them to write their own lyrics and everything.
Right.
So they came in, laid down the tracks. I produced them, and finally got the album mixed and got it put out on vinyl through Pirates Press.
Nice.
And it was a labor of love, and we were really stoked on how it came out because, man, sometimes you don't know how vinyl is going to sound when you get it. But when I heard it on my stereo, I was just like, oh, yes. I was super stoked.
It's super cool to hear yourself on vinyl.
Yeah.
So if I'm correct, we have I don't want to say double. It's like 1.5 vinyl, and then is the other side just an etching?
Yeah. So it's 2 full sides. The third side is the most doomy, stoner rocky side of the record. It's side 3.
Right.
So that's got like Austin Wilson on there, or Williams, and Justin Lent, and those guys that are real heavy.
Yeah.
Like doomier dudes.
Yeah.
So some of it's punk rock, some of it's metal, some of it's thrashy, and then it's doomy as well. It's kind of like a compilation of singers, but with the same musicians playing most of the shit. So it was a great project.
Yeah, man.
This guy's like a one-man.
You know what's crazy? I see that a lot in this community. I really do. Where there's somebody that just kind of like, it reminds me a little bit. There's a band out here, and they're a young band, and I asked them. I was like, "So how many? Are your friends into this?" No, not really. Like, well, like who is? He's like, just us, and they just went through a lineup change. So they had to find somebody else that was kind of into this music. But it's like, for whatever reason, I don't know. I assumed if I was a young person, if I was a teenager, that I would get into this kind of music. But, a lot of people out here in Arizona anyway, it's like country and hip-hop, and, that's fine.
Oh, it's hip hop.
Yeah, maybe, yeah.
I call it hip hop.
Well, hip-hop, we got hip-hop, if you go to Tennessee, Alabama, or whatever, all along,
Right.
following the I-10, you could get some good hip-hop there, or I don't know if it's good, but it is what it is. I ain't going to slag them because, you do,
We don't
you,
know
It's genuine.
yeah, you do you. If you're happy doing it and, it's your artistic expression, by all means, knock yourself out. I just might not go for it, and that's okay. That's cool. I don't have to like everything in the world. And, it's just like, so I guess my point is, so these kids, they don't have a lot of other people to record with or to practice with or to play with. And maybe that's been happening longer than I imagined because, you talk to somebody like yourself, Bart, where it's like, maybe there wasn't enough people around or whatever, or maybe you had a vision that other people weren't seeing at the time. And so you're like, well, fuck it, I'll just do it myself.
Yeah, so, I have no shortage of people to play with or anything. What it was is I wanted to play guitar how I wanted to play guitar.
Right.
Like, I often mold my playing style to other people.
Gotcha.
To perform in Frontside 5, I got to play skate hook. To play in Valio Mierda, I play bass, and I play that style of bass.
Okay.
Or to play in this or that band, I conform to what they need. So the whole premise for me doing that Blood Axe record is so I could just play heavy guitar, play shred leads, play complicated, fucking stupid riffs. They're not that complicated, but you know what I'm saying.
Right.
I didn't want anything holding me back from what I wanted to play.
Gotcha.
And Brock, being the drummer that he is, can play anything I can spit at him, and it's just like all of a sudden, okay, oh shit, we're doing this now? It's like he just jumps on board.
Not to mention you were only in like 5 bands at the time, so
Yeah.
you really needed to get onto something else.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, you got a laundry list, dude.
Basically that was like, my wife says, like, she goes to bed at night, and then I come out with a new record. But, that's because, I do studio work for a living, so I have the time whenever I'm not recording other people to work on my own music. And I haven't ever done anything quite like that before, and it was a challenge and kind of an experiment. So it just happened to work out.
Hey,
Yeah.
It's cool, man. So, all right, I think I have one more question. I've asked it a bunch of different ways. I think it's very simple, and we're missing one band member, but maybe we can figure that out.
We were hoping she would roll in because
well,
she's working hard tonight.
Dude, I got to say, I tried vamping a little bit. This is as far as I get.
Yeah. Nice work.
But you know what?
Yeah, I don't know.
But you know what's cool is, like, I also do a top 5, and I've already talked to you guys. Enough of you. So I could talk to her for a top 5, and it could be any subject, any topic, anywhere, anything.
Yeah, do that.
Yeah, that's super cool.
She would love that.
That'd be awesome, man. All right, so there's a movie. It's called Messiahvore. It's an exciting movie, and it's about the band. So each of you have to look. Let's say so. Brock, you have to look over to Bart and say, who is going to play him in the movie? And then Bart, you go to Diz, and then back to Bart.
Oh man, I'm not even really good with actors' names or nothing, but
He's gonna be Kevin Bacon.
Kevin Bacon.
That's all right.
All right, okay.
Hugh Jackman for sure.
Hugh Jackman.
You Jackman.
It's Huge Ackman, not Hugh Jackman.
Yeah, I understand.
Ackman.
Of course, yes.
Most people don't.
All right, so I'm just saying who plays these guys in the movie.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Uh-oh.
man, I don't know. I can't go the easy route. I'm not gonna say like a Thor actor or anything. I'm gonna say, you know what I'm gonna say? I'm gonna say Gary Oldman.
I like Gary Oldman.
Gary Oldman.
There you go.
That's way better than Kevin Bacon.
Ever seen Hackman?
Forrest Whitaker, right here.
Yes.
Oh, really? Holy shit! All right, I wasn't expecting that one. All right, go ahead. Yes.
Nor was I.
All right, so
Um,
so there's Forrest Whitaker and Kevin Bacon, kind of, and
yeah.
and Bart, who's huge
Hugh Jack.
Ackman.
Huge Hackman.
Yes. Maybe even
So I'm
for
gonna
the
sing a lot.
maybe even for the role you can say Hugh, but instead maybe the last name would be Jorgen instead. So
Okay.
then you would be Hugh Jorgen.
Hugh Jorgen.
Okay. Now
I like that.
now
And then,
go ahead.
I was trying to think of one for Jen. Who would Jen be? She would be Shauna from. That's not an actress. Never mind.
Well, look, it doesn't have to be an actress because, look, man, I'm looking at Brock and I'm like, maybe if Johan Hegg comes out of this massive Viking metal ideal, he would join and
There you go.
I don't know if he's ever been anything. I don't even care. I don't even care if he's got
Actually, he did actually do a movie called He was in Norseman or something. They did a movie called Northman.
Well, then there you go.
Yeah.
It's perfect. It
Yeah.
works for me. All right, guys. I appreciate your time. Thank you so much for hanging out. Fucking A, man. Let's give a shout out to Dust. He's the guy that introduced us, and much love to him, man. And I haven't seen you guys live, so I haven't had the chance. But when I do, it'll be a great time. And I've met
Hopefully we get down there as well.
I've met Stone
I
Deaf.
love it there.
I met Stone Deaf a bunch of times. Other people on your label, whether it's King Chiefs, I love Paul to death, man. Whether it's Mizoa, I love Nacho. There's so many different bands, and Coffin and Bolt is they're curating a pile. They're curating something really good, and I'm glad that you guys are the foundation for the company. And I wish you much success and health, wealth, happiness. Be safe and all that. Now, where can everyone reach you to buy all things, and when is this album coming out?
I believe the album's going to come out around October or November. We're not 100% sure.
Okay.
At this point, they can't get it anywhere until it's released.
Right.
But it will be available on the Coffin and Bolt site, and it will be available through Golden Robot. Hopefully we can get you some solid dates soon.
Right on, brothers. Right on.
Yeah, we're going to have some singles coming out on Spotify. We're going to have 2 different music videos. The first one is going to be Blood and Guts. The second one will be Double Cross.
Oh, cool, man.
And those are already filmed. Yeah.
All right, so check it out. Look for it. Thank you so much for hanging out. Really appreciate the laughs, man. Had a great fucking time.
Awesome.
I guess we'll talk again, and we'll get a chance to chat with the wife about a top 5.
Yeah, man. Have Jen hit me up to get you in touch with Jen, man. She'd be stoked to do it.
Absolutely, and I can't forget the name because it's also my wife's name. So thank you so much to everyone in Messiahvore. Really appreciate your time. And we've had this interview for quite a bit, but I was just waiting until we could get some music so we could, just give you a little taste of what they're about. Let's hear one of the tracks, the new single from Messiahvore. It's called Blood and Guts.
On display, luxury.
Thanks, everyone, for joining us. And while we're giving thanks, thank you to everyone that listened to craniumradio.com in the past few weeks. Noticed a nice little bump in the numbers. So I know you're out there, and I really appreciate that. And speaking of appreciation, the executive producer for this program is Ian from No Masters Audio. Link is in the show notes. If you need to reach us across social media, it's doomtombpodcast, or email, same thing, doomtombpodcast@gmail.com. You want to do an interview? Do you need a review? You have a submission? Hit us up. I appreciate it. And also, cannot forget, Glory or Death Records. I heard some stuff that they got in 2021. Yeah. Oh, that's nice. Speaking of the Swamp Records, they have been laying it down. They had some killer releases in 2020, and I just saw a few coming up for 2021 that look outstanding. And finally, Mucho Printing for all your band branding. And you need a gift for the family? Hit them up. It's all in the show notes. Thanks, everybody. We'll talk to you soon. Until that next time, meantime and in between time, stay healthy, stay happy, and above all, stay heavy.